Immediate race. Getting ready for the start. Bit of creeping and Jordan Burley gets out of the gate real good for Nick Campbell. Clean start there, everyone's through turn one, and Jordan Burley is definitely meaning business, and he's running away from Nick Campbell. Bit of business down there into turn 5, and Jacob Stroud trying to get a little bit pushy and then getting blown away down the straights. Oh, and here he goes again down the inside. Out in front still is Jordan Burley, the current number 3, followed by Nick Campendown, Chris Kane, Nick Campendown, Aaron Carmichael, Jacob Stroud, Kerry Chapman, Dave Lewis, Michael Pachat, Shane Lowry, Graham Keeper there in 11th place, Rob Edwards, Nigel Lennox, Bill Duffy in 14th, Finn Webster in 15th, Rasul in 16th, Rob in 17th, Rob Smale, 18th is Dylan Jeffries, wow, what a good start Jordan Burley's got. He's just really run away from Nick Campendown in this one. First two laps or 1.5 laps, and boy, he's eked him out. Still found a bit of a gap there. It looks like he's well in control of this one. Jacob Stroud sitting there in 4th, I think it is. Seventh, sorry. Shane Lowry there, he's just pulled out, couldn't handle the jandle, and he's off into the pits. It's Nick Campendown running real wide into that last corner. There's a few alternating lines out there into that last corner. Quite a few of them seem to be staying away from those little slick patches that they've got down in there that seem to move the bike around a fair bit. But he's Nick Campendown's doing a fine job chasing Jordan Burley. Liam Underwood still there in 3rd place, followed by Aaron Carmichael, Chris Kane and Michael Pachat. On that other kid, Jacob Stroud. Quite a good little pack, sort of sitting back there in 4th through to 7th place, and it's getting quite nice and tight. Wow, Jordan Burley definitely means business. 14.3 straight away, eh? He's put in a great start, and he's just going to run away from Nick Campendown. So while we've got a minute to spare, and before the action sort of heats up, I've got someone joining me up here, Damon Rees, who's unfortunately had a little bit of bad luck yesterday with that slip-off. That's racing and stuff, but man, what a season. Winning the Super Sport Championship when you didn't think you were going to win it, and won everything else pretty much through the year, and now off to Australia and stuff. How are you liking the Aussie stuff, and what are you sort of doing?
I'm loving Australia. The whole event and the organised. It feels much like home. Everyone's pretty friendly, and the events run really well. So. And the racing's just as exciting, top 3 in New Zealand is sort of top 8 in Australia is sort of that pace there. So it's pretty hard racing, but for sure it's a new challenge, learning all these new tracks against all these local boys. So yeah, no, it's been awesome.
So we jacked up like talked to Radar and stuff like that, and we jimmied up a bike. Oh, we've got a little bit of action stuff onto there. 77 was it? Scooted off into the grass. Yeah, we jacked up a bike for you to go to Oz. You bought this guy's bike that doesn't work. You pulled the cheating motor out, bought one off eBay, turned up to round 2 was it? And then showed them all how it was before chucking it over a fence and pulling it apart there, mate.
Yeah, well, it was definitely an interesting week for sure. We booked the flights on Monday to go to Wakefield, and we were on a plane on Wednesday morning. We had the motor out and the new motor in Wednesday night, and chucked it on the dyno on Thursday morning, and then drove down to Goulburn, which is just north of the racetrack at Wakefield Park, and away we were on Friday to do some testing, and it went really well day one. It was fantastic. Tricky weather, a little bit cold and patchy here and there with the weather, but again, I really enjoyed the bike, and everything felt very at home. So, and it didn't matter about the fact that we only had a stock motor. It wasn't a massive horsepower track, so we weren't losing anything really in a straight line. So, but barring when we come into the faster tracks, when we went to Winton, which was a couple of weeks ago now, we just struggled off the corner. We just lose a couple of bike lengths, and it just really does make things a lot harder for myself to get that little bit back. But everything's looking good. We've lined up to go back in 3 weeks' time, go back to Eastern Creek and do some testing, but we've also got a new head to put on the bike, and hopefully give it some more compression and setting the valves and stuff like that, and do the cam timing and make the thing go better. So going to Darwin beginning of July for the 4th round. I'm 10th in the championship, and hoping to get even better, and maybe closer to winning a race or two. So it's all looking good.
So sponsors and stuff like Slidey's come along, Blue Wing Honda, Pirelli New Zealand, heaps of people have come along and sort of helping you realise your dreams and get over there and stuff. And without them, she's a pretty daunting thing, and knowing where to go and stuff like that. The Aussie thing seems to be a pretty good step, eh?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you could look at going to Europe, but you need 200 grand to go and do a year's racing over there, and that's not guaranteeing a free ride the next year. You need another 200 grand the next year. So Australia certainly is the next step, and it's not too expensive. You can fly back and forth between rounds, and it's all affordable, and the racing's just as good. And there's definitely it's another step, because there's just that little bit more money around. So there's more teams, there's more sponsors, so it's just more likely to get picked up by going racing in Australia.
Got to be happy with Shane Richardson's progress too over in America and stuff too. That you both were the 2 top dogs in New Zealand last year, and you both had some mean scraps and pushed each other, and that's why your performances were both so good. And it's nice to see him going so well in America. You sort of can measure yourself against all the other guys and stuff like Braden Ort, who was World Supersport rider. He's getting it handed to him by Shane and stuff. So you've got to be pretty happy with how Shane and stuff's going.
Oh, for sure. Shane, he's a flippin' awesome rider, and he kept me honest, and I kept him honest all season long. And I'm not surprised he's running up, top 5 with those guys in America, because he's more than capable. And it's pretty cool that he's made his dream a reality, and going racing in America. It's a pretty cool thing for him to be doing, and it's awesome to see that he's getting the results along with it. So it's pretty cool that both of us are off racing overseas, and same with Avalon and Connor London. It's pretty cool for New Zealand.
Yeah, definitely. New Zealand's probably in the strongest position I've seen of racing, with the young talent coming through, and you guys are definitely doing a good job. Well, best wishes for the rest of the season and stuff, and like to thank anyone or say anything?
Just a big thanks to everyone who's been helping with making Australia's dream, a reality. It's been cool with Pirelli New Zealand and Aaron Slight. He's been a fantastic help, and obviously Mum and Dad for their help, and everyone. Bike Biz Australia in Sydney. They've been fantastic with just supplying with just being able to get around the place and supplying us with tools and stuff like that, so we can work on the bike and we can go to the race meetings, and we feel like we're at home. We're really set up when we go to racing in Australia, all thanks to those guys.